Chicago gets blown out by Kansas City in week 3. Is it Justin Fields' fault? The offensive line, play calling, receivers? Let's watch the All22 tape together and find out what happened. First and 10 for Chicago. First play of the game. They're already at the 3, which is less than ideal. You're going to have crowd noise. They're showing pressure. Steve Spagnuolo special, 7 guys. Each DB is looking at someone, so you're thinking potentially cover 0. So Fields brings 2 guys in. That way he has 7 to block their 7, right? Just like a good defense, though, they back off right before the snap, and they're not bringing the pressure. But either way, they have it blocked up if it happened. So in terms of a play here, we have double slant. And you're going to read that 1 to 2, right? This is your conflict defender. If he follows the 1, you throw right off of him to number 2. If he sits in this window, then you're going to hit number 1 in this window before it gets to the Mike backer, right? So it's going to happen pretty quick here. On the outside here, Claypool's going to outside release. He gets a little wide here, and he has a go. So this is the play. And I'm going to show right here, Fields' eyes are on conflict defender. Number 1, he goes with Mooney. So throw it right now to Moore, and he doesn't. So that's a free reception right here. Now, I don't know if he's worried about that blitz he thought was going to happen. It's not there. So then right here, he scrambles. Now, this is a bit risky. Right here, he could get sacked, especially in the end zone. If you get a hold, that's a safety as well, right? So that's a little risky here. And I've got to give a compliment to Claypool, who's gotten it, right, in the media. Right here, he looks at his quarterback, right? He sees scrambling. He's not going to get this go route. And right here, he puts on the brakes, and this is scramble rules, right? Scrambling, you go towards your quarterback, or you get vertical if you're shallow, right? So he's coming back to his quarterback. Fields sees this, and this is a dot, man. I mean, right on the sideline, Claypool gets his feet down. I mean, that is on the move. That's a pretty darn good way to start the game. All right, 3rd and 4. And Casey gives the look of man, right? He's looking here. He's looking here. And this right here is tucked in as a DB. He's looking right at this tight end. So we're thinking some type of man coverage, right? Right now you think maybe cover 2 man. Motion over. And again, I'm just not a fan of this because now you don't have a big threat on the outside over here. So the safety's just going to come over. And now we got man coverage. And so this is a smart move by Kansas City. He's going to take first guy outside over here. He's going to take first guy man inside here, and he's going to be man up on Mooney. So this avoids any of those rubs pick plays. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a mess, right? They're all, again, Fields is at the top of his drop right here. And they're all right by each other on 3rd and 4. I mean, again, 3rd and 4. And we're running into guys, into conflict. This is the only guy that's potentially open. Well, hold on. Justin Fields is getting sacked right now. So what it looks like from here is Mooney's clearing out and doing, maybe a slot fade. Moore's doing an out for first down. And Claypool's coming in and either sitting down or running. One of the 2. But it doesn't happen because Kansas City is a bit physical. And right here, they're both basically collisioned, right? Because they're waiting for them. And at this point, Justin Fields gets hit. So, I mean, you could say right here, outside shoulder for Mooney would be open, but just design-wise, that was not going to work. Justin Fields breaks a tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's called a sack. I'm not really sure why, to be honest, but what's he supposed to do here? So motion's over. He looks, top of his drop. That's when they're all kind of there. And, I mean, guard just gets run over. So because the score got out of hand this game, I'm going to tell you guys the score while we're going through this. So this is 7-0 Kansas City, 2nd and 3. And This can be a play action we'll talk about, but Fields goes straight back after the play action, which I like. Instead of just booting out a bunch, going straight back while the defense is going a little bit east and west, I think is helpful. So Claypool's going to have an inside release, and he's going to do a deep dig here. And he'll be the second read, in my opinion. And I don't think Moore runs a good route here. He inside releases and should get vertical and then come back out. I mean, you can call this corner route, you call this a circus route. But what he ends up doing here is he kind of just goes inside and then comes out right away, which leaves it pretty shallow. And you'll see where Fields throws this football, Moore isn't close to. So here we'll walk it through. Play action. And Fields goes straight back, which I like. So look at this. Time, pocket. These guys are trying to bail out now. And Fields at the top of his drop right here. He's looking this side, right? This is number one. Well, Moore, if we take this back, Moore gets rerouted inside here, right? Then rerouted, pushed inside, and comes out here and just runs right into this defender. So, in my opinion, here is when he needs to get vertical for at least 5 and then come back out. So because he's so shallow, he comes right back to this defender. And if we see where Fields puts this football, he needed to get more vertical with this, right? He's throwing this on time. So either that or Fields is throwing this away because he can't complete it. Claypool comes across here, comes into the safety, doesn't really have a chance. I don't think that's anywhere Fields can throw this. So we'll see from this angle. I mean, this operation and play action, I like this. Show the ball, play fake, straight back, eyes over, one hitch, and throw. I mean, that is everything you want to see. So this is going to remind a lot of you guys of Groundhog Day, the movie by Bill Murray, because this is going to be the same play we just saw 2 plays ago. So this is 1st and 10 for Chicago. Kansas City is still up by 7. So Fields is going to play action, drop straight back. Mooney is going to run this better than Moore. Inside release, get vertical a lot more, and then come out. So like a true circus route, or call it a corner route. And then inside a release from DJ Moore, he's going to come across. This is going to be 1 to 2, and then Herbert's going to leak out here in the flat. So play action. And as you can see, the right about here is when Moore came out last time. So Mooney does a better job of getting vertical, but when he comes out here, he's bracketed by both guys. There's nowhere for this ball to go. And then if we look at Moore, Moore goes vertical, and this defender, the safety, doesn't even turn his hips and go. He's like, this looks familiar to me. I might have just saw this play. And stops and is in front of Moore on this dig route, which is ridiculous. He's running the route for him. So Fields drops back. He's looking at 1. Now he looks to 2. And here, yeah, he could check this down to Herbert, potentially. He decides to be Justin Fields and scramble and make a ridiculous gain. But this is just insane to run the same play basically 2 times in a row. Play action, straight back, looks at Mooney, not there, looks at Moore, and right here, like this is insane play by the safety. And just finds a hole and gets, 17 yards out of this. 3rd and 6 play, right at the edge of field goal range. Moore has an outside release, vertical go. And here we've got dagger, traditional dagger. They kind of ran it as a diagonal last week, where you're running a clear out and then you're looking to throw this to Darnell Mooney across the middle. Cole Kmet has a flat that he actually turns up into a wheel here. And then after a check, Herbert leaks out late. So that's the overall concept. There are some things that I don't like about this, but we'll get into it. So first off, Chris Jones here just schools Darnell Wright. Okay. Gets right by him, uses his hands well, and there's immediate pressure on Fields. But Chase Claypool runs this, and it looks like basically they play cover one with a robber in the middle. And Claypool, I know what you're avoiding. He gets to right here and he puts his hand up, right? I get that you're probably open. A couple of things that would be better for this, right? You see the safety, you see the no safety over here. If you're going to run this, you want to step on his toes and stay vertical. Here, get the defender completely behind you. Also, you can't run as fast when your hand's in the air. So again, don't do that. So when Fields gets to top of his drop right here, nobody is open. Could he throw it to Claypool and anticipate that? I mean, I guess kind of, but right there, that doesn't show you separation. And then here, by the time, okay, yeah, probably, and he needs to let this go, Chris Jones is already right there. And he needs to get out of there so he doesn't get a sack. Again, this is field goal range, right? So Fields goes to scramble, and the D-end here is getting manhandled right now, but then spins out of it, and Fields has to retreat and get sacked. I mean, that's a pretty good D-line. I'm not sure where Fields should go with the ball. Throw it over Claypool's head, maybe? So part of this is, I mean, was he thinking he was going to get a shot? His eyes right now, they go to more on that go route. And then they come back to the concept here, the safety. So right here you can see the Claypool, and his eyes aren't over there yet. So that's kind of interesting to me, because to me his eyes should be in the dagger, but they're not. So his eyes go right. And then I think he sees this robber in the middle of the field, which would take away the dagger portion. And now he's going to be a bit of an athlete instead of getting sacked. I mean, this is a heck of a spin here. Heck of a spin. All right, this is 2nd and 5, and now it's 14-0 Kansas City. And Kansas City runs some stuff, y'all. I mean, here's a safety. He's down here. He starts here, and he's going to actually bail out, and they're going to rotate. And that's... They run some good stuff. So concept-wise, what do we got here? So we've got a clear out, or almost a divide, I would call it, because he's running down the middle. He's not even running a post. And then we're going to have some crossers here. And the thing that bugs me the most about this play is Darnell Mooney comes down and blocks while Fields rolls out here. And Darnell Mooney's size, for me, is probably not the guy you want to do that, if you want to do that at all. But here we'll let this kind of play through a little bit. So fake toss, rolls out, and here's Darnell Mooney, all 180 pounds of him, going to help steal this edge. So already Fields has to retreat further, and you can see kind of disrupts the play. So you got more clearing out, and you got 2 crossers. Now, he could potentially hit Claypool right here, right on the sideline, and I'd be okay with that. But what Fields does is he kind of sets his feet here. So I don't know if he felt he was a little bit off balance trying to make that one work, and then changes his arm angle here, which is actually great. We'll show this on the other angle, but changes arm angle, gets it to Cole Kmet, gets a decent gain. Fake toss. Mooney, you got, again, 2 crossers, Moore's clearing out there. Right there, Claypool. And then right here you can see, I mean, look at that. Fitting that in that's a hard throw, man. 14-0 Kansas City. This is going to be 3rd and 7. And Kansas City just has their number, y'all. I mean, this is just, We're going to have double tight end chip, right, to help this develop. They learned from Chris Jones last time with Darnell Wright, and then they're actually both going to leak out, kind of just do 2 tight end wheels. And then Moore and Tyler Scott here are running mirrored routes. They're going to run past the sticks and then come back. Scott sadly stacks his guy here, right? So stacking him is you're vertical and he's right behind you, which is what you want when you want to do a vertical route, not when you want to come back. So he has to fight to kind of get back downhill, and is pretty unsuccessful with it. So, and I'm going to show you the protection from the other angle, but so here you'll see Scott does a great job of getting vertical on him. I mean, he's won his route more than Moore did, which is what you don't want in this route. And then when he has to put on the brakes at the top, he can't because this guy's right behind him. Moore is trying to fight off his guy here, and he can't get out of this. So if we look right here at the top of the drop for Fields, he looks left, looks right. Nobody's out of their break or open. And it's 3rd and 7. I mean, throw it here to Mercedes Lewis, the 39-year-old tight end? Probably not. And then now he's got to just try and scramble around and just throws it away. So now let's just look at the pass protection here, okay? I mean, they've got, 3 down linemen. These guys could come. This guy could come. And Ja'Tyre Carter decides, hey, I'm going to eject this D tackle, right? I'm going to block down and just get him completely out of this thing. So launches him, which leaves, I don't know, a pretty big gap here. So Roschon Johnson comes in and he's got to pick up this safety one-on-one. Okay. So Lucas Patrick, the center, starts off with blocking the big. So they're sliding this way, right? They're sliding this way. He's out here. They got 2 here. They got 2 for the edge here. And Roschon picks up here. So he's sliding this way and he's helping onto the big guy. But now that he ejects him, he's kind of in his way. And he looks, he's like, oh, I got to help over here now. So comes over here. And then the guy that got ejected out of the club puts the pressure on. So he's there. He's looking over here and he just has a free rush to the quarterback. Because again, he looks at Tyler Scott, not open. Now looks to DJ Moore, who's not open. Now you have a free runner, and he's just trying to make something happen. I mean, what a terrible play. 21-0 Kansas City now, and this is 1st and 15, and Kansas City shows pressure, right? They've got 6 guys here, and they look basically man up on everybody else. So you're going to see here Fields talking to Herbert. Hey. Herbert's like, what is this? Hey, you remember this play? I'm signaling to you what we got. Mooney signaling. Okay, yep, gotcha. Resets. And right here, KC, they come with all 6. Chicago has 5 blockers. They have to throw hot. So what the play is, and you'll see right away, and again, could get flagged for this, you've got Herbert just leaking out, and you got 2 blockers right away. That's all it is. This is not a complicated thing at all. Fields sees the pressure, check to the hot, throws it right there. I mean, that's exactly where you want it. Herbert turns upfield and then fumbles the ball. See, right here. I don't know what the signal is. Something. Hey, remember this play? Yep, gotcha. Yep. Thumbs up. Yep, we got it. Delivers it. I mean, what a strip by this guy. I mean, you look at it from this angle, though. Your running back has the ball. 2 guys are blocked. I mean, he makes a guy miss. Yeah, and this is what you want. It was just not Chicago's day. All right, 24-0 Kansas City, 1st and 10. And Kansas City gives the look here of man coverage, right? They're square. They're looking at the receiver, 2 high safeties. So you could think cover 2 man, and then they actually rotate. He comes down and he robs, and he goes and plays middle of the field. So it's actually going to be cover 1. And the concept here, Mooney has a deep over route, and then Claypool's going to come underneath. So for man-wise, this is a good concept. And then DJ Moore is going to have a vertical at the bottom. So concept-wise, this is good. Chicago has what you want in this concept. And then if we play through a little bit, I mean, Fields gets the top of his drop, sees the safety, and then takes a shot here. So, I mean, actually, over here to Moore wouldn't be bad either. I mean, this is a good play dialed up for this. So more outside releases. Gets with a little, push off, whatever you want to call that here. And then right here, drops the football. I mean, this is a good ball from Fields. I mean, they're actually other hash. So this is a far throw. Show this from the other side. Fields gets it. Right now he's looking at the safety, sees the rotation. And he's like, yep, I'm going to throw it to my boy over here. So, I mean, not a bad protection either here for O-line. Quick throws. Right there. Drop. 2nd and 10. This is the play right after the Moore drop. And this is going to be a mirrored concept. So if you put a mirror in the middle of the field, it's going to be the same on both sides. So you're going to have 2 hitches, and then you're going to have 2 in routes over the top. So this has been called a few different things. I've seen it called wrap, but you pick your side that you like the most and you go with it. So Fields is going to be reading this guy if he's working this side, or this guy if he's going to work the top of the screen. So that's the concept. And Fields looks up here, right, this side. And so here's your conflict defender. He's sitting here, right here, top of your drop. Throw it to Kmet, throw it outside shoulder. That's your safe play. He doesn't do that, and I'll show this from the other angle. Doesn't do that. Tries to fit it in behind. Tipped ball, interception. So if we look at this from the other angle, to me, this isn't Fields not reading. I think this is Fields pressing. He's trying to make a play. I mean, he just went deep last play, and here, this is what he's trying to do. So his eyes are on that defender, and right here, throwing to Kmet, sees this defender. Okay, now he's going to jump to there. So he's like, okay, if his momentum's going there, I can fit it in behind him. And the defender stops, comes back, and makes a heck of a play. I mean, that's imagine running in, coming back, jumping to get your hands on that ball. I mean, that's a play. But Fields should have thrown this to Kmet, but I think he's pressing a bit here. 1st and 10 Chicago. It is 31-0 Kansas City now, and things are unraveling. There's about a minute left in the half. So here Chicago has a quick concept on here. Again, double slant. We've seen this already. And then they're going to have a deep corner route, a hitch, and then a flat route. So they're reading, I would say, basically this outside defender, and you'll see they're just trying to get a quick completion out of this. So here, yes, Kmet is open, but he's reading that side of the field and gets out of his hand right away. So he's not even really going to give Mooney a chance. This defender bails a little bit, and that's all he needs to see. Throws it to Roschon Johnson, gets out of bounds. All right, this is 2nd and 4, 1 minute, actually 59 seconds left. Again, 31-0 Kansas City, and again, it's out of hand. We kind of have inside release vertical routes here on the outside, and again, this is mirrored. And then you have out routes from your number 2. Roschon's going to chip the end before just checking kind of over the ball. He's going to look to the bottom here right away. So he looks down here. This isn't open. Defender did a really good job of working over the top here. And the one person you see open right away is Komet, but his eyes are down here, so he's not going to throw there. If we go back, I think it's the receiver's job, the outside receivers, to come in and get the defender to come in to get the guy number 2 open and more room on the outside. Claypool gets jammed so much here. The safety doesn't respect it and jumps Komet on the out, leaving Claypool open right here. Look at this space he's got. So Fields, again, his eyes are on the bottom, come back to Claypool, and then launches one. And Claypool doesn't come down with this. Again, right in the hands. And now we'll see for this from the other angle better. So here we can see Fields' eyes. So checks right, and then comes back left. I mean, come on. Maybe if you would stop and get vertical instead of just fading back. You're 6'4". Hands on it. Knocked away. 3rd and 9. You know, again, just before the half, and Chicago's in full just chuck it down the field, see what happens mode here. So we've got outside release vertical over here. We've got outside release vertical on the bottom. And then we've got kind of a deep crosser. And Fields is just going to pick his best matchup and kind of go here. So takes a drop, kind of checks again. They rotate their safeties. They rob and go cover 1, which is all he needs to see to throw it to Moore, who wins on his route. And Fields throws this on the outside. Sorry, I went through that a little quick. Here, you'll see it here. Okay, now why? My guess is something to do with right there. Has something to do with this ball being a little bit off as Fields gets drilled. So you see this from the other angle. Get a chip from the tight end right here. But tackle oversets inside, is exposed. He just drills Fields. The other part about this play is, so Mooney on this deep crosser right here puts his hand up. Like, hey man, I'm open, I got it. Yeah, you're open. And then your quarterback's just on the ground back here. So yeah, I mean, it's a good read. This is a good chance or a good shot play. It's better, you know, more separation down here, but it's unfortunate. He got hit before that one got a chance. 34-0 Kansas City. At this point, this is the second offensive play for Chicago. It is 2nd and 3. And we're going to see a motion here by Tunyon, and he's going to continue and do a wheel, okay, down the sideline. Komet's going to do just a little hitch here, and we're going to have the back in the flat. Down here, we've got a go, and then we've got just an out. So the part of this that is frustrating is with this motion, with his eyes looking this way, we have slide protection from the O-line. And most of the time when you have slide protection, so like let's say it is slide protection this side, then his eyes would be this way. In case there's pressure, he needs to be responsible for the hot. But as you'll see, his eyes are looking to the right to the concept, and they have a free rusher. I mean, see, guard slides that way. They all are sliding this way. He's big on big over here. And Fields doesn't get smoked just because he sees him. Gets tripped up by the line there and then gets sacked. And then, I mean, even at the top of this, right here, who does he throw to? the back. Maybe if you want. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Motion's over. You can see these four guys all in tandem. Going that way. Going that way. Left tackle. Hey, I got this guy. And then number 50 just free releasing. I mean, good thing Fields even avoids this and doesn't fumble somehow. All right, this is going to be 3rd and 7. We have a classic air raid concept here. We've got mesh. He's gonna leak out over here. Komet's gonna have a deep hank over the ball, and then Claypool's got that 7 stop, and then he comes back inside. Which I know we got on him last week, but maybe they teach it that way. I mean, this isn't run perfectly because when you have this mesh, so right here, these receivers need to look at the defenders. If they're running with them, the opposite guy has to be like, okay, it's man coverage. I keep running on this route. Okay, I keep running if this guy is guarding this guy, if this guy is guarding this guy. But they're not. Right now, my eyes can see that this isn't happening. So what happens after they have this mesh, which means they cross, you sit down. DJ Moore does this. Darnell Mooney does not do this. So this is not run correctly, in my opinion. They mesh right here, sit. But still, Fields, again, just got sacked. So I think that's partly in his mind. He gets the top of his drop here, which that doesn't match up well. It should be deeper. I don't know if he senses Darnell Wright got beat right there and is like, I just need to get rid of this. He's off balance. I mean, he steps with his right foot and throws this to Herbert. I mean, this is just awkward. I mean, you're a right-handed quarterback. You step with your left. So his back foot, there, throws, and Herbert gets drilled. So in my opinion, he has time. He can step up here and wait for it to develop a little bit more. 41-0 Kansas City. They take their, or at least Patrick Mahomes, some of their offensive starters out after this point. It's like that point in varsity football game where you take your starters out so they don't get hurt. Defense, their starters are in, or at least some of them. I'm just pointing this out because this is much better in terms of a concept versus the sneaks they try to do against Green Bay. However, there's still some things that I don't understand. So he's going to sneak. These two guys are going to push him. Okay. Darnell Mooney. He's a guy that cares. He's not a large person. What about switching these two guys? I would think he has more power than Darnell Mooney does. Or this guy, in theory, right? We don't, we have a lot of questions about him, could be here and he could push him instead of Mooney. That part doesn't make sense to me. Okay. But at least they changed it up and pushed him forward, right? I like this is the correct spot. We'll show one later. You're pushing low back, but whatever, to try and push him forward, and they do it for first down. Okay. Good execution. We converted on 3rd down. All right, this is going to be 1st and 10. Chicago's going to take a shot play here. We are all blocking this way. It's going to be a fake toss, and he's going to boot out this way. And Roschon Johnson is going to come down and seal this edge. This must be the new thing. I mean, they did this with Mooney before where you waste a receiver because your 4.4 speed athletic quarterback can't beat the edge on the outside. I don't know. That part's weird to me. Claypool is going to be the person taking the shot, and then Moore down here is going to be just running a hitch. So fake boot blocks the edge. Field stops, sets up, and right here, he's looking, right? Throw it to him. Well, this guy right now is bailing back. So You know, does he now shift and look at that guy? He's like, I don't want to throw it. Because right here it looks like, oh, well, dumb, because Claypool has it. But right now that guy's backing up and, you know, perfect throw. Yeah, maybe Claypool gets it. You know, I don't know. But it's tough to say, hey, that's a bad turn down. What he should do, sets up here, reset his feet, and come down here to DJ Moore. He doesn't. Partly, I think, because his momentum takes him forward here. And now he's kind of a weird scramble. Like, he's not really that athletic here moving forward because he's momentum and the defender's there. But, yeah, it's just, you don't know what would happen there. Come down here to Moore would have been the better choice. All right, 3rd and 5, Chicago throws another deep ball. I think that's, at this point, they don't really care. They're down 41-0. So Tyler Scott, outside releases, has a vertical on the top. Mooney has a seam. Cole Kmet has a whip route, return route, which is interesting for not a very quick person. And then DJ Moore has another vertical as well. So basically pick what you like the most as a quarterback and you throw it. So top of his drop. And honestly, right here, if you look at the top, Tyler Scott has a good release here. Defender whiffs, and he's playing catch up. And so Fields looks at the safety. Yep, middle of the field. And throws a pretty good ball. I mean, right there is the ball. It's, 6 inches too far. A couple inches too far. And then that safety drills the corner. The corner actually gets hurt on this play. So that's a pretty nice hole shot. I can't show it to you from the other angle. It cuts it off. But I can show you Fields here. So, I don't know if Fields liked the matchup, gave him a signal. But checks the safety middle of the field. 1, 2, 3, and throws it right on time so you can't get hit. So from an operations standpoint, that's exactly what you want. Can we see it from this angle maybe? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So not a lot of air on it. Now I can't tell if he got his hand on that or not, or if it's just a little bit too far in front, but it's close. 4th and 5. Chicago goes for it. They're down 41-0. What does it matter? Top of the screen, I think this is Roshan Johnson, actually. He runs a vertical. We've got an out right at the first down marker. And then Kmet comes down and, off balance, tries to help pass pro and then leaks out. And then this is Darnell Mooney. So this is the design of the play. You got Mooney here and you got DJ Moore here. Moore comes in to pick the guy that's guarding him. And then Mooney is going to wheel out. Right? That's the design. Well, DJ Moore doesn't do a good enough job here because partially how he did it would be good if it was Mooney in the slot. So right here, he's in the way. Just stop. Right? Let Moore Mooney come flush right off of you. That'd be great. But he keeps working his route. And that lets the defender, basically the pick didn't even happen. He stops Mooney's momentum. He can do that within 5 yards. And now, where does Fields go with this ball? He's retreating. He's waiting for this to clear out. And then now he's got pressure in his face. And he throws in hopes on 4th down. So really, the more stop running your route. Right here. Just stop. Or hesitate. Other angle. Fields looking. This is actually a run by Fields, but interesting how Kansas City actually has a corner blitz on here. So, there's 3 receivers for only 2 guys up here, which is actually kind of nice. And he rotates over. So that's kind of why that's happening, and they're outnumbered. But it's going to be play fake, and Fields is going to have a run out here. Claypool's got the edge. He hits him and then kind of gets off balance. Mooney does a pretty good job on his block, honestly. And then here, I'll play it through a little bit. That'll help. So Whitehair gets beat. does a 360 here, and then tries to get 23. Doesn't get him, but at least there's some effort there. Again, like I said, you know, Claypool comes down on this guy. Again, it's a tough block. It's at the end. Gets beat over the top. Kind of messes up the whole play. If you're going to get beat underneath. Mooney. Good effort. Blocks there, right? He's in the way, but you can just see, I mean, design these. This guy is fast. Look how fast this is. Slides, gets down. This is 23, so if Whitehair would have had him, you got potentially a bigger gain here. So this is the second one. This is actually the next play. Kansas City has a bunch of guys up here. I mean, they look like they're coming man, 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 and they do come. So what we have is more just blocks. Mooney comes down here, and then Claypool just has a fade at the top. And this is where Fields throws the football. Now, I just don't like how, if you're man and you know it's one-on-one and you want to go outside, at least fake inside, then come outside. Have something inside. And he doesn't. And it's why. So if you look right now, he's just outside the numbers. You want to give your quarterback a spot to throw this ball. And so Claypool goes outside right away. And as you can see, the Chiefs bring the safety too. So they bring the house. So Claypool goes outside right away. Corner matches him. And right when Fields is going to throw this, now look at how much room he has in the outside. He started here. And now he's way out here. I mean, Mooney's wide open. I mean, you could argue, you know, pick your side of what you wanted to do. But this is a bad ball by Fields, I would say. He throws this, and it lands out of bounds. But Claypool just gets squeezed right in the sideline. Like, give your quarterback a chance. So I don't know if this is, you know, basically a throwaway or a bad ball by Fields, but you have to have a better route there. All right, it is 41-3 now, and this is 1st and 10. And right away, we're going to see Fields check here. So he sees this nickel maybe coming in. He checks. Herbert checks, right? They're communicating. Hey, we got a different call on now. They're communicating. Talking it through. Hey, hold on. What do you do? Hey, what do I do? Okay. So what the check is to is a hot, because they like the situation. Mooney's going to block, and then it's just going to be a quick screen here to DJ Moore. I think if you're going to do that, you can avoid the play fake, but it hesitates for a second here. It'd be nice if he avoided the play fake and threw it right now, but he hesitates, sets his feet, throws it right in front. I mean, this is an accurate ball, right where you want it. Problem is Mooney does not get a good block here. He hesitates and waits. And then it forces Moore to stop his feet. And then you get defensive flow. And right here, he's like, oh man, what do I do? And then just gets a couple yards. So, I mean, a couple of things. I mean, I guess if Fields, right, throws it right here. Hold on. I mean, honestly, I would avoid the play fake, but play fake, throw it now. Sets his feet again. That's a half second. Mooney gets a better block there. Doesn't get in Moore's way. And then it doesn't really even matter. You have the numbers advantage to start with. So this is going to be a run play. This is 3rd and 5. And Kmet's actually going to come out here. Let me draw it up for you. He's going to come out here. He's going to block and lead. He's going to block. They're going to play fake and read this defender. And basically, I just have this because 3rd and 5, and Justin Fields is so fast. So play fake, defender comes down. This is the correct read to pull. And I mean, even here, like, okay, he's there. He's going to come. You need 5 yards, like, not looking great. Kmet gets a hand on him. We'll see this from another angle. Puts his speed on, outruns him, and then steps out or almost would have had the first down here. I mean, this is just, maybe we should do more of these because he's, I don't know, one of the best athletes on the field. So reads this defender, steps down. So right here, Kmet's like, okay, I'll just touch him. And he's actually, he has a step, he has an ankle on Fields. Fields outruns it. Block there. And just steps out, or else he would have had this first down. Like that's some athleticism. All right, time for me to complain. 4th and 1. Similar formation, right? Last time they had a back here, but 2 guys here. And they have Claypool here finally, and a running back, right? It's not Mooney. Here, we'll help there. Technique. Both of these guys are going to push on Justin Fields' shoulder. I don't think that's going to help push him forward as much as low back and his butt. Like, help push him, get leverage. Like, look right here. On his shoulder. Right there. You're up pretty high. You're up pretty high. How is that helping push him forward? Like, you're in the position to move him forward right here. Now push right here. I mean, I'm sure they help some. Yeah, get their hip in there some now, but like, man, they could have definitely helped early on. This is going to be 1st and goal from the 7, and this is some design and execution I just don't like. Automatically, 3 receivers here, tight end here. You're going to have more defenders paying attention to this than this, right? That makes sense. Have him split out, right? Occupy the corner. Do something over there. He doesn't. We have a deep over. We've kind of got a seam read here. He comes over eventually, and then we've got it in at the goal line. And Kmet blocks, then leaks out. You could debate it should go to Kmet, but he just has bad execution here. So let's just look at Kmet here to start off with. So his job is to chip, and you'll see this right away. I go to block, and I completely miss the guy. Why? He's looking at the ball. I'm not sure why. Maybe look and see who you're going to be blocking here. Comes inside too far. I completely miss the block. And now I kind of like come forward to chase that. If you miss a block, just let it go, right? Leak out. And then he gets pushed further in. And now's when he leaks out. So if we look at everyone else here, so Mooney's going to take some time to kind of get through traffic, come across. He doesn't really get open till, I mean, you could say put it out here, right? That'd be great if Justin Fields wasn't getting about decapitated right here. Moore doesn't really get open here, right? Right here, Claypool, you could, I mean, right here, but then he's going to be coming into that window. So maybe early on Claypool, like right here. But Fields has to scramble right away. Why? Because Kmet missed his block. Herbert has to cover for him. Fields, the top of his drop is here. Feels that now. Doesn't trust his O-line. Scrambles. Yeah, right here. Dump it to you, Kmet. Yeah, and yeah, he could do that. Yep. Throw it out here to Moore or Mooney. But he gets drilled. I mean, that's just some execution. And plus, I don't like the design of attaching the tight end, especially if he misses the block. This is 3rd and goal from the 6. This is a bad play by Justin Fields. He misses 2 touchdowns here, in my opinion. Claypool's motioning over. He's going to be doing basically an out at the goal line. Moore's going to kind of come in and then go out, so they're going to be high-lowing the corner on the outside. That's not where he's going to look. Mooney's going to fight through and come out over here. He's basically just kind of a pick. Kmet's going to do the shallow here. This is 1 touchdown. Fields misses, and then you have the Texas route from Herbert. That's your 2nd touchdown, in my opinion. So we'll let this play through a little bit. So you'll see high-lowing over here. I mean, I'm not sure that necessarily is going to be open right away, but his eyes are right where they should be. right here. So I don't know if he's thinking Texas route right away, looking at this conflict defender, but right here, throw it to Kmet. That's a touchdown. But he's looking at Herbert. And then when he gets off of that, now you're looking at Kmet, throw it to him, but he decides to run. So, I mean, I think right away to Herbert, not there. Kmet is there. But right now it's Herbert's there. So, I mean, if you read it the opposite way, maybe, the guy to clear first, and then, if his eyes were on Kmet, then this would have opened up. And I mean, here's the other part too, is late in this game, I was wondering who cared, who for Chicago. I mean, this is 41-3. There's 13 and a half minutes left in the game. And he's trying to score. I mean, he gets hurt here. This is the one where it's potentially a concussion, but man, I mean, you can't question his toughness, that's for sure. So here we'll see it. Eyes are on Herbert. And Kmet's open now. And then now Herbert's open. So I mean, maybe just read that the other way. All right, 41-3, 1st and 10. And I'm sorry, this is 2nd and 4. And I know that it's been very anti-Fields right now in social media, and for good reason. I mean, he has not played great. We've talked about even in this video, he's missed some reads. He should have thrown a few other things. There's a lot going on, not positive with Chicago right now. But one thing, we just saw him take a hit to the head, and this is number 1 back in the game. I mean, whether he should be out there or not is one debate, but man, you can't question the kid's toughness. That's for sure. So this is going to be a mirrored concept. Again, a mirror in the middle of the field. It's the same both ways. Got to hitch, got to go, and got to go. So to me, I think this is an option route. If there's no one there, you settle down. If there is someone there, then you run out of it. And so that's what Fields does here. He reads the boundary, which is the short side of the field, the top side of you call the field. So boundary side, Kmet senses this D end, runs out of the break. And Fields throws that right where he needs to. I don't know if Kmet sensed maybe cover 2, and that's why he stopped and tries to turn back inside instead of just catching and just turning up the field. That was kind of interesting to me. I didn't know if he was thinking it was cover 2 and he's going to get hit by the corner or what. But if we look at Fields here, check safety, check there. I mean, this is quick drop. 1, 2, hitch, throw. Maybe get rid of this little hop. Pretty good ball. I'm not sure why Kmet is. I can put a move on this DN maybe. I don't know. All right, 1st and 10. And Chicago's going to have, again, just another vertical concept here. Vertical here. He's going to run a seam. He's going to run a vertical. But honestly, it doesn't really matter because this guy gets blown up by this guy. So if we play this through just quickly. Again, this guy coming up here makes the center go over. Guard takes that D tackle. And now you're one-on-one with a full head of steam in. Roschon Johnson gets run through here. So Fields, top of his drop right here. Not sure where he would throw it. This is actually, I think, is your best chance. Another second later right here. But he's got pressure right in his face right now. So again, just scrambling, making something happen. I think the one thing you could debate is right here, throwing this to, I think this is Moore. He'll work throw it maybe to this spot and get a completion. But I also think that right now he thinks he can run. And so he doesn't see a defender right there coming. That would be my guess. Again, we're all just looking at the film, kind of taking our own guesstimates here. But, from this angle, you can just see Roschon just getting run over. And there's immediate pressure right in his face. I mean, just avoiding the pressure too, or the sack. So right here, that would be, I think, the debate to throw that on the sideline, and then, oh my goodness. So 97 here, the D end drops back to here, and this is the guy that ends up chasing Fields, or has an angle on him. All right, this is 1st and 10, and this is going to look open for Tyler Scott late. I think it'd be tough to say that he missed here, but again, vertical concept from Chicago, vertical here. He's got a seam. Tunnion's got a crosser. I think this is Claypool. He's got an out, and then Roschon kind of leaks out, and that's eventually he gets the ball to here. So if we fast forward this just to top of the drop here, I'm not really sure there's a spot for him to go with the football. I mean, even if you want to anticipate he can't see, he could help over the top of that. I mean, again, fitting that in there, throwing over the middle has not been kind to Justin Fields. And he comes over, right? The safety does. And this is what gives Tyler Scott this opening. If you want to say down here to the bottom to Claypool, this guy's going to undercut. That's a wide side of the field throw too. It's a little tough. He moves a little bit, and then, Tyler Scott looks wide open. Again, that safety could rally a little bit too. So not a great spot to throw the football anywhere, in my opinion, on time. So he checks this down to Roschon. All right, Kansas City is going to rotate. You'll see here, just before the snap. I mean, they're in man, deep safety. They're in cover one. And if I play this forward just a little bit more, you'll see man here. So man one, or cover one, man with a spy. And Chicago has 2 outs with 2 verticals. And then Roschon's going to check here. So something that we've seen before already out of a concept from them. And play this out, just sets his feet, quick 3-step drop, and he throws this to DJ Moore on the outside. Now, right here, when he throws this, DJ Moore does not have his defender beat. And again, we talked about this with Claypool. He does not leave him a lot of room on the outside. And he just throws an absolute seed on the outside of DJ Moore. DJ Moore does not drop this one. So again, 1, 2, 3. One-handed catch on the outside. I mean, this is great catch, great placement. I mean, that's not bad coverage at all. All right, this is 1st and 10 from the 15. Again, 41-3. And we get an RPO here. So we've got run action here, and we've got just a little, I would call this arrow route. Claypool blocks early. It should be a flag. And Fields sees this guy come down, and he throws it. So RPO-wise, when there's more guys in the box that are committed to the run, you should throw the football. So you'll see right here, Fields' eyes, he's not, most time you see the zone read, his eyes are over here, and they're not. His eyes are this way. And he's like, nope, I got to pull this because that's going to be bad news. And as you can see right now, Claypool's blocking right now. So that tells you that it was likely a run play. Again, this is a pretty good throw. Like, play fake, feet set, kind of dips his arm down. Not a bad ball. Good juke there by Tyler Scott. He's been fairly impressive, I think, for a rookie. So right here you can see eyes are back over here. Not normally over here for your zone read. Flips his hip. That's well done. This play is kind of interesting. I would call this a flag. Or it should have been penalized. I mean, Claypool blocks right away. I can tell this is an RPO because he comes in front and Whitehair works up to the backer, just bypasses this guy shooting through. We have a corner route from Tyler Scott, and then we've got a slant here by DJ Moore. He throws to Scott. It's actually not a good throw either, but just it should be a penalty because I feel like right here, right, that's pass interference, right? We've seen this called on Claypool already. And then, I mean, if the ball's at the, 10, 11, right here, Whitehair is already up to the 9, 8. You know, is that, I don't know. I don't know if they legal man downfield, how much they would call or how much area they would give them there. But anyways, either one of those could be called. Tyler Scott, again, I mean, it says a slot fade. I mean, should he be looking inside and then go outside? It just nothing really crisp about it. But Fields throws it to a spot, and I don't know if he's anticipating something different, but he throws it out of bounds. So that's the part that is automatically bad from Fields, in my opinion, is that if you're unsure, at least give him a chance. Drop it right here. No one's going to get there. Put it somewhere to give your receiver a chance, and he doesn't. Now if you look at his feet, yeah, they're planted. It's a bad ball. All right, thanks for staying with me all. This is the last play, 3rd and 4. They still can get a first down if they want to. We've got a vertical by Claypool. We've got stick by Kmet, so he's here. If he's covered, he works his way out. Got a flat route by Roschon Johnson. Then we've got double slant, right? First play of the game. We remember this, right? You go 1 to 2, and this is your conflict defender, right? If he comes in at all, you throw it in this window to number 2. If he sits, then you throw it in this window before it gets to this backer. And honestly, this defender takes a couple hops, and that's all it takes. So Fields takes it, really just resets his feet. This defender, again, let's watch him. He contacts Mooney, hop. That's all it takes for that little window. Throws on time. Right on his face. Touchdown. I mean, honestly, because if you just looked at that at Moore, now Mooney's wide open in the middle of the field. Like that's how that window works. You got to use your eyes. So it looks at the conflict defender. Yep, I got enough. Throws it right on time. Right in the window for a touchdown. All right, thanks for sticking with me. I know it's a lot of plays. What do we find out? I think play calling wise, there are some things that need to be better. You can't call the same pass played 2 times basically in a row, 2 passes in a row. Defense is going to catch on to that. Structural wise, there are some things that need to be better. Execution for sure. There are some drops on some good throws by Fields. Kmet, chips, things like that need to get better. Fields needs to be better too, though. He misread on the interception. He should hit Kmet right away. And then he misread, I think, the defender's leverage. He forced that one. That you can't do that. He missed Kmet and then Herbert for a touchdown. They're in the red zone. And he missed on the outside on some of those shot plays. He was a little bit too wide. Even if he's getting hit, he needs to give his receivers a chance. So, again, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Have a good one.